Bloody, the officer said. Hello, welcome to the first episode of Caterpillar Dreams, where I tell you the stories that help turn me into a butterfly. I'm your host, Sarah Simar. This episode is titled Goodbye, Childhood Friend. Today we'll be focusing on concepts of childhood friendship and the ending of those. We'll be having two guest stars on this episode, Marlaj Simar and Julie Meha. Let's get started. Goodbye, childhood friend. It started in elementary school with only two mixed girls in the same friendship group. Two innocent girls blissfully unaware of the tragedies that would take place. Our personalities were similar, but our home lives were different. She had a horrible home life, and I wanted to take her away from that with permission of my parents. We had imaginary worlds we would escape to. We were celebrities, royalty, and far, far away from her horrible reality. Then, in middle school, we entered middle school with our heads held high. We were not in the same classes because my friend had disabilities that put her in lower classes, but that never stopped our connections. We would secretly play with Legos because we do not want anyone to think we were childish. This developed the emo aesthetic to be taken seriously. We decided to wear tights underneath shorts, chokers across our neck, hair dyed, and black clothing. We listened to heavy metal and rock bands. We had no idea what we were doing, but we were doing it together. Everything changed when we got to high school. That's where the drama started. We both started getting in the dating realm. We found two boys in the same friend group and we started dating them. Then we became a squad, the four of us undefeatable like the Fantastic Four. It was good for 3 months. When I look back, I can see the jealousy brewing in my best friend. I was unaware of the bullying she did behind my back, that she would whisper to her boyfriend about my insecurities that I told her in private. Her boyfriend would consistently bully me on whatever she spoke to him. I couldn't stand being around him, so I ended the whole friendship group fast after that. Just seemed like a waste of time. Months after that, a night in July, after we came home from the cabin we usually go to on the 4th of July, I got a call from my boyfriend at the time. I could hear someone screaming in the background. It was my best friend's boyfriend at the time. My boyfriend told me to sit down, to make sure she was out of the room. My heart was out of my chest. I sat there and listened. My boyfriend at the time said, "She sent me naked photos of herself in the mirror." I was stunned. She was in my bathroom right now. I could hear the shower pouring from down the hall. What? I'm so sorry. What do you do when your best friend betrays you in your own home? Her boyfriend was sobbing, apologizing in the car with my boyfriend, telling me what she's been doing and how she's secretly been treating me. I felt tears brewing in my eyes. I had this tight pain in my chest. I did not say anything to her when she got out of the bathroom. Her mom was here to pick her up. I waited for her to get home, and then I texted her that I knew everything she's been doing. We agreed over text to meet in the mall parking lot on a Sunday. They say it's Lord's Day. I will always remember the feeling before a fight. It is unique in the way where your whole body tenses up, your heart goes 1,000,000 miles per hour, and you have tunnel vision. I start walking up to her. She walks up to me with a face pure of disgust like I am the evilest thing on this earth. Finally, we came face to face. She told me to not speak about her now ex-boyfriend. I agreed. I questioned why she did what she did. She explained to me that she thought I liked her boyfriend. I explained to her that I could never like him. She gets mad when I brought him up. When I look back on it, I knew she came for a fight. I should have never agreed to the stupidity of the situation. I have so much regret for doing it this way. It is not the way to end a friendship. No one is scared of you. I scream with every fiber of my being. That is when the first punch is thrown by her. I do not remember what happened next. I remember being over someone's shoulder. I felt so scared of what happened as if I was injured. I was completely unaware of how violent I had gotten. I could hear muffled from some old white lady saying, "I called the cops." I got into the back of my guy best friend's car. I started violently sobbing as we drove away, a deep pain spreading across my body of shame and regret. I remember the good times of the friendship. I remember wondering if this was the kind of person I am, someone who uses violence to get their point across. I also remember the heartbreak of the situation. After all, I just lost my best friend. My thoughts were suddenly stopped by a knocking on the window. "Are you Sarah Simar?" A cop spoke to me with a smile. I told him yes in a shaky tone. My mom told me, as a person of color, cops are dangerous. I was overwhelmed with fear for my life. The cop explained to me I left her with scratches and bruises and some open wounds. I was horrified that I was capable of such violence. He also informed me that she was not pressing charges. He looked surprised that I had no marks. I was relieved that I did not get arrested that day. A simple friendship could have ruined my life forever. I never saw her again after that day. She transferred schools to a different city because of what happened. I still regret for not thanking her for the beautiful lessons and gorgeous memories. Since then, I have not gotten into a single fight. I let my words be the factor. I do not let myself get blinded by anger. I have forgiven her since then. I do not think I was angry by her, but I felt betrayed. Betrayal can cause us to act out. We cannot control the events in our lives, but how we respond to them. Hello, caterpillars. Now we'll be transitioning to the next part with the interviews. Let's reflect on it. Here today with a very special guest. Marlaj Simar is going to be telling us a little about me and my friend's friendship. So, how was it handling the two of us while we were growing up?
You two were cute. Very girly, two young girls. He's in a pod. I didn't have to entertain you, so you entertained each other with stories and activities and things like that.
And then, how do you think we separated growing up?
As you were growing up, you just had different interests, I think, and maybe made different friendships outside of your friendship, and maybe you didn't have those friends in common. So I could see, less time being spent together, a little more friction in like, I can't believe what happened today, and things like that.
And overall, how much time do you think we spent together while growing up?
We spent a lot of time together. I mean, lots of play dates, especially on the weekend, but sometimes on the weekday after school. But on the weekend, you had a lot of sleepovers. You went on trips together, whether we were going locally, like to the lake for a few days, or going out of state for like spring break or summer vacation. Your friend also came with you, so you spent quite a bit of time together when you were little.
Well, thank you so much for your feedback. One last question. How would you say that I've changed as a person from then?
Well, certainly you're more mature as a young lady than you were when you were younger. You also seem to be more selective about your friends, who you choose as your friends. And it's not to say that friendship started out as a bad friendship. I think you learned a lot from it, and so have applied that in choosing your friends. And you hold your close friends close and try to preserve the good relationship. So I think it had an effect on you that way.
Thank you so much for joining us on Caterpillar Dreams.
You're quite welcome.
I'm joined here today with Julie Mejia. I am going to ask her a couple questions about the story she just heard. So, what do you think about the story?
I think the story was very captivating and entertaining, although it took a very sharp twist and something that was very shocking when I was listening to it.
And then, what do you think about me being the same person? Do you think I'm that same human in the story?
I don't think you're the same person. I definitely think you've grown a lot, and now you think before you act.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Caterpillar Dreams.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Moments can shape us into different people. Betrayal can ruin us, but it is important that we react accordingly. It may be the end of your career, your friendships, but it doesn't mean it's the end of your life. I ask you now, caterpillars, to think about your own life, own moments that you could have acted differently, and reflect on those. Thank you.